was trying to sleep, I was thinking about today when I saw this homeless man going through all the goddamn rubbish bins outside of a place we were working at. And I thought, how can you stop that? I mean, technically, I think the rubbish bin being on the footpath is free property, technically. I think. So you can't really stop him from going through your rubbish. I think that's the way it works. But what about... I don't know if this exists, but there's like a lock on the lid that stops people from going into the bin. Okay? So there's two problems with this. One is, okay, let's say we figure out a solution and we do have a lock on our bin. That means you would have to constantly lock and unlock the rubbish bin, which would be quite frustrating. Still haven't worked that kink out yet. And two, how would the dump truck or the rubbish bin, or anyway, how would the tipper unlock the bin lid when he empties it? Because if it's locked, you can't get the rubbish out. So here's my solution, right? So you have a rubbish bin, okay, and it's this way, okay. The only way to get the bin lid to open is to tip it upside down. So how could you do that? Then I was thinking, well, magnets. You could probably do it with magnets, right? I'm not sure how well this worked, but I was thinking, like, okay, somehow the bin locks, the lid locks somehow. I'm thinking just maybe like, like by one of them old playground gates where you like pull the thing up and then you have to push the gate open. That's like magnets. So I was thinking, how about something like that, but instead of pulling up, you pull it down, and then on the inside of the bin there's this big heavy magnet or weight, and when the bin is upright the weight's down the bottom, but when the bin is upside down the weight transfers, somehow disengages the lock, maybe disconnects the magnetism, and then the lid just flops open. I think that is a great idea. I'll never be able to invent it, and I won't invent it, but it would stop thieves and everything from going into your bin. And it doesn't seem too complicated. Magnets are simple, right? You just have to find a way to make it so there's a weight inside the bin that when the bin's like this, it's on the bottom, and then when the bin flips upside down, the weight drops into the lid, somehow disengages the magnetism from the lock, and then the lid flops open. I think this idea could change the way rubbish bins are put on the side of the street. I think it's a great idea. I'm not sure how well it will work in I think impractical, is that the word to use? I think it's a good idea. But I don't know how well it will work in real life. But I think what can go wrong? It's just the lid locks somehow. I like the playground method. And then the weight somehow transfers when the bin is upside down, or at least tilted, and then somehow it disengages the lock. I know I'm repeating myself. I think it is a great idea. I really do. Yeah. Because every time we put our rubbish bins out the front, anyone can get access to our rubbish. And they can go through our rubbish. And technically, let's say if the pigs had a investigation and they wanted to go through your bin because someone got murdered, technically they could still open the bin if they tip the bin upside down. So there is always a way to get access to it. But then again, how you gonna open the lid when there's no rubbish in it? So like maybe you can invent like a magnet that you can like put on the side of the bin and like drag the bin up. Although that's gonna be a bit tricky. If you've got a handful of rubbish, then you have to use your other hand to like unlock. Maybe you could like obviously when the bin tips upside down, it disconnects the bin lid magnet. So maybe if you wave a magnet over the top of the bin lid, it would disengage it. That might work, and then you could lift the bin lid up. But I don't know. I think this is a great idea, but I'll never do it. But yeah, I'm gonna share this to my parents. I was thinking about rubbish bins when I was sleeping tonight. See ya.